YouTube could be a thing of the past in just 12 months' time. I know that's a bold statement, but I'm going to literally try and prove it to you in this video. So bear with me and let's start from the beginning. YouTube was created in 2005. You might not be aware of this, but it was originally meant to be a video dating site. It quickly pivoted, and then one of the creators, Javed Karim, released this video. This is the first ever video on YouTube called Me at the Zoo. But more on YouTube in just a minute. AI took the world by storm over 12 months ago. There were hundreds of posts on social media discussing the cool stuff AI could do. For example, you could take a picture of your fridge and with the remaining ingredients, it could come up with a recipe. And I'm sure you were thinking to yourself, like I was, cool story, bro, but how is this going to change my life? A lot of people, including myself, are already using AI in different areas, for example, copywriting. But there are a few things that I think a lot of people are sleeping on when it comes to AI. And the first one is this. AI is a highly competitive area at the moment for the big tech companies. They will do anything to get ahead, even if that means pushing forward new announcements and new developments early, even if they are not fully 100% safe, just to get that first mover advantage. So Apple Vision Pro is here already. It's an amazing piece of tech and it could be an iPhone moment, but it's clear that this is not the finished article. But it's also unclear what the massive use cases are, but I'm sure in time this will show. Google killed Bard and replaced it with Gemini, but basically the name change itself was a great thing because Bard was the worst name ever. And I'm sure you've already heard about Sora, ChatGPT's new AI video generator, which is all over social media at the moment. So just because it's so competitive now and it's so vital that one of these tech companies win, quote unquote, the development will be greatly accelerated this year in 2024. And the other thing people are sleeping on is the rate of development. As we are simple human beings, we see everything generally as linear. We struggle to understand exponential growth, but AI growth is exponential. And at the moment, the people who are developing these AI machines are humans. What happens if AI develops AI? This line will go vertical through the roof. The development will get so fast that previously results that took years to come to fruition could be instant with AI. Most of you will know of YouTube as the second largest search engine in the world after Google. So for example, you can search for things like how to make videos on YouTube and you get some interesting YouTube content that answers that question. But here's the thing, less and less people are using Google. I only ever use Google now to search for places, venues, and to get an address. If I have any question, like for example, a medical question, I go straight to ChatGPT or some other AI platform. And it's no surprise people are literally searching on Google asking why Google's in decline and why it keeps getting worse as a search engine. So literally Google is already turning into Yellow Pages or Yell.com. This is what I see happening with the future of video content. And I think it's quite simple and I think this is very likely to happen. Basically, you will ask your question like how to make videos on YouTube. And on this new platform, you will get a response which is a few different levels. It'll be a curated response for you. And that video or bunch of videos will be rendered in real time to answer your question. So the first level will be generic content that answers your question, all generated by AI. All of the stock footage, the narration, everything will be AI generated. The second level will be the same response but curated to you in terms of your background, your language background, ethnicity, your intelligence levels, your personality, what you like and dislike previously with certain videos. The AI will be able to give you that information in the best way possible, in the best way that would help you. And if it does that consistently, you will of course use this platform rather than YouTube where you're not sure if that video is going to be right for you in terms of understanding, for example. And then the final level will be, you'll see some answers that other people have found popular. So much like YouTube, people will like these particular videos, they maybe might subscribe to certain AI channels, etc. So you will see some of the best content that answers similar questions to what you asked. So I see it being these three levels. And I see it as being on a brand new platform. Now there's a caveat with this. At the moment, S&P 500, these are four of the largest companies in the world anyway, but especially on the S&P 500. Now, previously, historically, a lot of you might not know this, but decade after decade, there's a massive rotation in these S&P 500 companies. So companies that were the largest companies in the world in the 50s were no longer the largest companies in the 60s or 70s. Then there were new ones, and then it constantly rotated. But that stopped happening now. These tech giants, they're literally monopolies in their different niches. And what they've done really well is to buy out any new technology companies that they can incorporate into their own ecosystems. So we don't see that rotation. So if this remains the case, they will try and involve themselves in AI as much as possible, more than anything else they're doing. Google's not going to care about Google search anymore. That's probably why the Google search is rubbish now, even worse than it was a couple of years ago, because they are fully AI focused, and they should be. And these tech giants know that if they don't get AI focused, they will lose and they won't be the largest companies in a few years' time. The reason I think it could potentially be a brand new platform that replaces YouTube, that is not affiliated with Alphabet, who own Google and YouTube, is because the larger the company, the slower they are in terms of bringing things out and developing things, because there's so much red tape and confusions and discussion. This is a drawback of a larger company, which the smaller companies don't have. And because AI will make everything so much more cheaper and efficient, the smaller companies have a chance to take on the larger companies. They absolutely will have that, like never before. It's actually going to create, AI will create a more even playing field, in my opinion, and that's a good thing for the average person. However, what's bad for the average person is this will replace a lot of jobs. Literally, it will, AI, with each development, it will destroy industries. For example, this is storyblocks.com. Now, a lot of content creators have used this website before, and this is where you can find stock footage. For example, I search for a guy searching on Google, and you get all of this stock footage. And you can see the clips are very, very short. Sora now does this for you, but usually this stock footage is not the best. You've probably seen videos just like mine where you're watching stock footage and you're like, that's all right, but it's not great. It's more, I just want to listen to what the person's saying. But now you can create stock footage that is absolutely relevant to exactly what you're saying and will perform a lot better and will be a better viewer experience. So if that's the case, we don't need Storyblocks anymore, do we? Now think of all the other people involved in video content creation. That's going to be a thing of the past. So AI will literally go through industry by industry and take all of the jobs. Look, this is inevitable. I'm just telling you what's very, very likely to happen. And the issue with the wider markets is this could lead to the next Great Depression when we talk about just jobs being lost only. However, the reason it might not be the depression the same way it was in the late 20s and early 30s is because AI is going to make everything much more efficient and cheaper, like I mentioned before, which actually helps the average person. So it's going to be a weird decade. And for you sharper individuals, there'll be massive opportunities here. If you can learn and implement AI and know how to do it, then by default, you will get ahead of everybody else. A lot of companies are creating their own websites and platforms like SaaS tools, basically, where they use ChatGPT's API. I don't think that's the way to do it, because every time these big tech giants have a new development, this literally has destroyed all of these companies that were trying to create video content, for example, from prompts. Rather, I think the way to do it is to use these add-ons, like for example, these public GPTs ChatGPT has here that can help you. You can create your own and potentially add them to the store. And then later, ChatGPT will discuss exactly how the revenue share will work. But I think this is a more reliable way, longer term, to take advantage of the AI revolution. Creating your own version of ChatGPT, I don't think is going to get you anywhere. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks for listening.